Hello everybody, and welcome to episode number 23 of the Milo Podcast. Bing bong, bing bong. Yes, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you. How can I express my gratitude? I am going to do it by completing this episode right here, right now. Yes, thank you for joining me for episode number 22 of the Milo Podcast, and we're going to get right into it right here, right now. We're going to get down to the brass tacks. We're going to figure things out, and we are going to ruminate. We're going to ponder. We are going to just sit in deep thought like the computer from Hitchhiker's Guide. We're going to come up with all of the answers, and I'm going to wait for you to think of the questions. I heard that food is getting scarce. Food is scarce. Like, it's not yet. I mean, it already is in a lot of places, right? I mean, you got like people been sending money to Ethiopia for so long. Like, I mean, right? I mean, sponsor Ethiopians, I don't know if it's bad to say that, but I mean, I remember like advertisements on TV, right? They were like, oh, sponsor this child, and you get a photo, and you get to send them notes or letters in the mail or something, right? And then you get to sponsor the child to go to school or like feed them or whatever, right? Like a good stuff. Good thing for you to do if you're a rich man, right? Or woman, or person. Rich person shit. Rich, that's what the ultimate rich person is like, yeah, I got so much money I can afford to sponsor a child. I can feed not just myself and my family, but I can also feed someone starving in another malnourished nation or whatever, right? Like, I got this much money, I can just afford to do whatever the fuck. I basically own this human. They're going to be eternally indebted to me, right? That's if they even receive any of the money. Who knows if they, like, that dollar a day or whatever it is, if they actually get that dollar. Probably half of it is, like, absorbed by the charity or whatever, and then they can spend, like, most of that on more advertisements and keeping themselves, like, getting paid fat checks, right? But yeah, so I suppose you've got to be pretty rich to afford to send money to other people who you will never meet. But I guess you're going to have to be pretty rich to buy food in the future as well, because, like, yeah, I was hearing that, like, in the next 100 years, that food is going to be really low availability. If it's going to be like, not only is the climate changing and stuff like that or whatever, like it's making places hard for agriculture and to grow food, but there's also, like, you know, human intervention stuff where, like, people like sucking water out of the ground and, like, chopping down trees and just ruining the earth, right? So I guess I heard that Russia is becoming a food superpower, and you know, so food is going to be like the new gold, and water is going to be the new oil. That's what I heard. Like, but I don't think we're going to be putting water into our cars, because it's not going to be literally oil. It's going to be just like as valuable as oil, right? You know what I mean? So maybe there's going to be like wars fought over food and wars that are fought over water and stuff like that. And that's probably, like, I read that though. I mean, I didn't read anything. I haven't read any of this. I was listening to a podcast, and now I'm just giving it to you in short form because it's like food for thought. Get it? Like food for your thoughts, because soon you won't have any food for your belly. There'll be no more food for that. Just be food for you to think about. Because, like, you know, Ukraine is apparently they have a lot of wheat, and so Russia wants to take that. And, like, Russia wants to be the world leading food superpower. Apparently, like, you know, China is already having a tough time producing enough food for all of the people over there. And so, like, they have bought out so much percentage. It's only small of, like, US farmland to get food and water from the USA and Saudi Arabia as well. Like, they're mining the country of food, right? I guess it goes hand in hand because, like, USA and the rest of the Western world, we all like rely on China to produce our iPhone and our toys and our clothes pegs and everything. You know, everything. They manufacture everything. But why can't China? Here's the hard question. China manufacturing so much shit. Why can't they manufacture me a cybernetic love robot who will nurture my feelings as well as my body, you know, because I'm not going to, soon enough I won't have any food to nurture my body, So I'm just going to I'm banking on the cyborgs to come. I'm banking on it because they don't need no food. Cyborgs, I can keep a cyborg in my room or whatever, and I don't need to feed it anything. I can just plug it into the wall, right? And like, whatever, maybe give it some like oil the joints up or whatever to keep it from going when it's walking around my house. So it'd be nice to have a cyborg though, so I can come home from work and be like, hey honey, I'm home. And the cyborg would be like, how was your day? And I can be like, oh yeah, it was just so tough, but I'm glad I've got you to listen to my problems and nurture my feelings. By the way, what's for dinner? And the cyborg will have nothing for dinner because there will be no food, right? Probably just water. Would be nice, but yeah, at least that's a cyborg would be like a small solace for such a trying times, at least we can come home and have a cyborg instead of roast beef. But I guess that's make me think about what if there was they should like all of the science fiction movies and shit that's media, all the non-fiction stuff. Or is it fiction? Sorry, fiction. Yeah, all the fictional stuff. Science fiction, duh. All of the fictional stuff that's been released in the last 100 years. That's all talking about spaceships and fighting over resources and going off into the future and whatever, like mining ice from an asteroid so that we can bring the ice home and melt it down into water or whatever. All that. I guess that was kind of accurate. That's the only accurate thing because none of the science fiction movies that I watched, like Star Wars or Star Trek, or The Matrix, or The Lawnmower Man, or any of those movies like Babylon 5, whatever, Mars Attacks. None of them really were set in like this place or like a dystopian future where there's no food, because that's what I think would be a cool scene. Like imagine a Metal Gear Solid game. That's science fiction, right? That's like that whole game is all about the military industrial complex and how it's spiraled out of control and like shell companies and fake proxy wars and all this type of stuff. But it's all fought over like genomes and struggle for power and stuff like that, right? I mean, maybe Snake Eater had a different story because that dude was eating snakes. But that would be cool if there was like a Metal Gear Solid and it was about like a dystopian future. Like you're breaking into food warehouses and you're stealing food from the powerful elites and you're distributing it to the poor and the hungry, like Robin Hood, but you're like robbing food. You're robbing food from the rich and powerful and giving it to the impoverished. And you'd have to maybe you could be like a terrorist, a food terrorist, and you got to commandeer there's a convoy of food that's coming from one place to another, and you got to intercept it and steal the food and water and stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool, right? Like food piracy. That reminds me of David. What's that guy that does salad fingers? The guy that does salad fingers, he released a cool thing, and that was about how food piracy. Yeah, that's right, food piracy. What's the name of the salad fingers guy, man? Fuck, David Firth, yeah. He released this thing called Cream as an animation called Cream, and there was this magical cream that solved all of the world's problems. I think we need some of that right now because you could put the cream into a polluted lake and the cream would make the lake just rich full of drinkable, healthy water. Or if you had one apple, you could put the cream on the one apple and it would duplicate into 2 or more apples. So that food piracy could be a real deal thing. Like you buy a legitimate food item and you rub some cream on it and then it will just self-replicate. Yeah, that's right, self-replicating. That's what the purpose, the properties of cream. David Firth's Cream, baby. Cream. Get on top. Cream. Don't you stop. Cream. Something else. Cream, put your pussy on top. Yeah, I'm talking about Prince, baby. Shout outs to the Purple Man, Prince. I gotta take my car into the mechanic on Saturday morning because if you listen to the last episode, I told you that my car is sick, right? It's sick. My car is sick to bastard death of being driven around and having me inside of it. I don't know if it's a me thing. I don't know if the car really has a personal vendetta or grudge against me, or because I'm the only person that drives my car. No one else drives my car. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a chauffeur. No one be touching my car, man, except for me. And I mean, I treat my car nicely. I thought we had a decent relationship, but recently she's been giving me the cold shoulder, and so it's got some badass symptoms and shit. So I was like, what the hell, man? My car is all fucked up. Why is my car all fucked up when I'm driving it around, right? So I got to take it to the mechanic, and I'm doing that on Saturday, because personally, I looked under the hood. I popped the hood of the car, and I was like, those are the spark plugs. Those are the cables that are attached to my battery to the engine so it can drive. Duh. And I just moved some parts and like unplugged and replugged shit, and it didn't help. It didn't help, man. Like, I tried to do some home remedy type fucking home doctoring on my car, and it didn't work. So I got to take it into the car hospital to find out what's going on with my car. Maybe it's going to have, like, what if my car has cancer or something, and or some other type of terminal illness, and I never get it back, man. I got to say goodbye to my car. Maybe I got to buy a coffin and dig a hole, or just like cremate my car in the street. I guess I've seen cars being cremated in the street before, or at least the burnt out remains of the car or whatever. And I could scatter the ashes over the opera house, in the water of the opera house, or some shit like that, or whatever, you know what I mean? Or take my car's ashes out to the greatest, biggest, longest highway in Australia and spread out its ashes so it can always be driving, right? ABD. Always be driving. But yeah, first of all, we might not have to go that far. We just need to wait and see. We're going to get a diagnosis, a prognosis. We're going to evaluate the symptoms, and we're going to get a negnosis, a diagnosis, a prognosis, and a negative gnosis, a professional gnosis, right? A prognosis. Because gnosis means like knowledge in Latin or some shit, right? And pro would be like, that's short for professional. So I'm going to get amateur gnosis as well. I'm going to get prognosis. I'm going to get amateur gnosis. And I'm just going to get all of the knowledge that I can possibly fathom, like some type of scholar or underling to a wizard or whatever, like an apprentice of a sorcerer, right? I'm going to get all of the gnosis that I can, and we're going to basically use the spell powers between us to heal my car. Maybe I've got to take it to a healer instead of a mechanic, see if they can soothe my car's poor withered soul. It's just tired of being driving left and right and up and down and driving around and around and around, and it needs to be nursed back to health. So I'm hoping that we can do that, and that it's a one-day affair. I'm going to take my car on Saturday, and we're going to see exactly what happens to my car. Man, the value of music, bro, is or art in general, like, is being called into question with all of this AI type stuff, right? All this artificial intelligence type shit, yeah. Because, like, you know, first AI, I mean, in the artistic sector, first AI came for illustrators and painters and artists and stuff like that, yeah. Like, the AI was trained on 1,000 million billion images that artists have created over the past however fucking long, you know. On the internet, the artificial intelligence goes, looking at 100 million pictures just sitting there day after day. Dog, cat, mouse, monkey, giraffe, zebra, bat, dog, fucking whatever, you know, like, could be a caterpillar, insects, whale, fish, whatever, lion, tiger. It's got to know the difference between lion, tiger, lion, tiger, lion, tiger, jaguar, panther, you know? It's hard stuff. It's hard stuff training these artificial intelligences, man, because they start off being real dumb, and the more you train them, the better they get, right? So the AI been looking at all of these human photos that people have made, I mean pictures, right, and photos, and all of the mass media that's like probably ever been released in the fucking history of time, and AI just looks around and goes, yes, identify this, identify that. In fact, you know those captcha, you know, on the internet when you log in somewhere or you're trying to do something, and like it says, hey, here's a grid with a photo that's divided into a grid. You need to pick all the buses, select all the grids that have buses in it, select all the grids that have a staircase in it. You know, I heard a while ago, I don't know if this is true, but I think that doing that is teaching certain AIs how to, or like, you know, certain scripts and programs or whatever, it's teaching them how to identify shit. Like, just to know what the difference is between a car and a staircase. important stuff, but like just think about how dumb you need to be to think like, oh, is this a bus or is this a staircase? Like you'd have to be really dumb, like beyond human. Like I don't think a human could even be that stupid, or maybe even an animal, because like an animal sees a bus and it either jumps in front of it trying to kill itself, or animal sees a staircase and it climbs up the staircase. Some animals can't climb up a staircase at all, probably like a horse. I don't think a horse could climb upstairs, right? Or a giraffe and an elephant probably never seen staircase in their life because they don't occur in the wild, you know what I mean? Or for that instance, I mean, for that matter, many animals have never seen a staircase because, like, you know, perfect 90-degree angles don't typically exist in the wild, out in nature, you know what I mean? Nature being all fractal and all that, it doesn't like to do straight lines, bruh. But, yeah. So artificial intelligence, it came for the artists, right? The painters, the illustrators. It learned all their images and all their techniques, and it knows the difference between photorealistic and it knows the difference between caricature or cartoon or comic or anime or whatever, right? It's pretty smart now. And first it came for the pictures, and now it's coming for the sound, you know, like for the music. And so you got like these Suno AI or Udio AI, and like people go in on these websites where the AI exists, and you type in something like Nirvana type song about eating so much food or whatever, right? And then like it comes out with this song like and it's like, I eat food, I eat so much food, I eat all the food, and like you can program it to do lyrics and like say certain keywords and create narratives, and like they can even do vocals now, which I mean I think the whole thing is pretty impressive, like especially how far it's come in such a short amount of time. Like I mean in terms of like just AI in general, but also AI music specifically. Like I mean I've been there to see how AI has learned how to produce these images. Like before it was just like, you know, you'd ask it to produce something and it would produce something, that's for sure, but it was not really anything that you would want to actually like do anything with. Now AI can design a whole album cover for you and the pictures look great. They look really good, right? A lot of them look really good. As a matter of fact, I will have you know that the little image of me wearing my round glasses and the horns on my head, that's AI, bruh. That was made by AI. But like AI music used to just be sort of like early AI pictures. Early AI pictures, let me try and describe it. They were like just blobs of like shapes and like very inaccurate sort of textures and fucking... It had no idea what it was doing. And that's what music was like, AI music. That's what that was like just like 5 years ago or whatever, right? Or something like that. And it used to just like produce this shit that no one would ever fucking listen to in their lives. Like no rhythm, no vocals, melodies made no sense, the chords were whatever. Like it was just nonsense. But you could see it was trying to think about something. It was like baby's first song, you know what I mean? But now they can do like, you know, catchy melodies, proper song structures. They even add their own artificial intelligence fucking vocals, man. They got these vocals, bruh. So yeah, it's come a really long way in just a short amount of time, bruh. So, you know, it leads me to thinking, what is the value of music? Like the value of images seems to be declining or whatever. Like you see all of the, I mean, I don't know if the value of images is declining, but certainly people are losing jobs, like design jobs and like, you know, commission work. If you're just one of those people that like are happy to, like you've got some kind of Pixar fucking or daily cartoon, you know, American, like USA type cartoon, boring, uninspired. Like if you're an artist, in air quotes, if you're like an industry artist and you used to create images for whatever, like just basically if you got no flair of your own, like there's two types of artists, right? There's industry artists, like people that sit down and write jingles. This is a perfect analogy. People that sit down and write jingles for fucking commercials and like TV opening themes or whatever, all that type of shit. Like that's an industry artist. And then you got other artists that like make evil personal black metal that's like straight from the soul about depression and suicide or whatever the fuck. Like you're probably not going to get AI making stuff like that immediately, right? But it's going to come for those little jingles like the buy our products, buy them now, buy our products are the best, you know, the stuff like that. That is going to be eliminated, and that's a huge sector of the industry. It's a huge sector of music right there. Me, I mean, I'm personally not too concerned about it as a musician because, like, for me, it's not about whatever. Like, I'm not trying to sell my music. It's not about the money, so I don't care. And I'm not employed by a music industry or anything like that. So, you know, for me, it's whatever. I'm just going to keep making my own music, and I'll be totally happy with getting 0 listeners on that type of shit, you know what I mean? So, and I enjoy the process, and like it's an exercise for me. So yeah, I enjoy making music, and I don't think AI is ever going to take that away from me. But maybe it will. I mean, even if AI gets so good that it makes something that I wish that I made, I still don't think it's going to stop me from making music. I've seen a lot of people commenting online in music spaces, like on Reddit, on Twitter, or whatever the fuck, man, places, right? Facebook, wherever you see music groups and music discussion, wherever it might be. I see a lot of people disheartened, like you're probably younger musicians or people that want to get into creating music or learning an instrument, and they just think, well, what's the point? I can't get my music out there, man, or like the AI is already better than me. What am I supposed to do? And to those people, I say, suffer and die. I don't give a shit. If you really wanted to make music, you'd just do it anyway. Like, I'd make music for the joy of it. I practice my instrument, and like, you know, I've overcome so many challenges. I've learned so much stuff. I've gained such a deep insight into music, right? So for me, all that has been super duper valuable, and like putting in hashtags on a fucking, or a description, prompts, right? Prompts into a website to have it shit out some BS is not really in my wheelhouse of concerns, right? Not part of, it's not on my radar. However, you know, there's actually like a subset of people out there, and subset of subhumans. Like, people these days, they consider themselves like prompt writers. Oh, I'm a prompt artist. I write prompts for AI, and that makes me an artist. Sorry, but no. I hope that everyone on Earth that considers themselves a prompt artist or a prompt curator hears this podcast and ends themselves, man, because you guys are cancer, bro. But it leads me to think so many things, like, you know, people are going to be in control of their own content, and like, you know, how long is it going to be until someone like Spotify, like these platforms where you listen to music, are just using artificially generated fucking artificial intelligence created music. How long will it be until Spotify picks up an AI that generates music for Spotify, and it costs them $0 to produce, and then artists are no longer being paid to have their music heard on Spotify? I mean, that's probably not too far away. And AI is also coming for like videos, right? Like, AI is doing videos now, which is also quite impressive. Like, shit's going to get scary in the next 10 years, I think. Like, it's going to be a bit weird. But it just leads me to think, like, people are going to be in control of their own destiny when it comes to content now, their own content feed. And like, soon enough, like, you know, every person that's been around up until today has like consumed art that was made by another person, so we care about that. But it won't be long now until people are just growing up in this world of AI where humans like create less art, and people are just gonna like their first interactions with art may be artificially generated type shit, you know what I mean? And those people might enjoy it, and they won't give a shit if a person made the music or not, or whatever it is, like, you know. So it just makes me think that in future, like maybe in the not too distant, or maybe distant future, like sometime in the future, right? Like I just imagine like the Matrix is gonna come together with AI, and like we're gonna just like enter like some kind of cocoon, some high-tech cocoon, where our mind is like, you know, like we're just going to shut down our body and our senses, and we get in this cocoon, and it's going to beam all of the content, that we're just going to live inside of a high-tech cocoon that generates an entire life experience for us, you know what I mean? Like, we're not actually going to live or do anything. It's going to be exactly like the Matrix, where we're in a pod or whatever, and like we just think that we're living this life and we're consuming this art and we're doing these things, but the reality is like it's all just artificially generated experiences. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Maybe that's already happened. Maybe that's like what happened to the pineal gland or whatever. Like, maybe that's what our brain is. Like, our brain started off as like a single cell organism or whatever, and slowly like it's attached to all these modular parts like limbs and fucking organs to itself, right? and like who knows what the reality of things is. Like, you know, we interpret everything through our senses. We don't know what the reality of anything is. We only see like a tiny little percentage of the electromagnetic spectrum, of the visible light spectrum, and like we don't know anything about reality, right? So maybe we're already inside of a simulation and we don't know. I mean, I talked about simulation theory before. I think it's more likely that we're already inside of a simulation, and considering the AI and everything that's happening, like, you know, doesn't seem far off before we just enter the cocoon, man. Maybe for a second time. Maybe we're already in a simulation and we're going to make these high-tech simulation life experience pods and we're never going to leave them, man. We're already in a simulation, and inside of this simulation, we're going to create a AI life experience pod that we go into. And I just hope that, like, on the real world surface level, like 100 layers back, like that someone unplugs the machine and that everything gets wiped out and we wake up in the real world. Or I mean, why would that happen anyway? Why should I care? Let's just keep going on this world. Like, who cares? Who cares if it's real? Who cares if it's fake? Nothing even matters anyway. Everything's going to hell in a handbasket. You're not going to have any food or water to put inside of your cyborg when you get home from work.
It's hard to remember how it felt before. Now I found the love of my life. Past as things get more comfortable, everything is going right. And after all the obstacles, it's good to see you now with someone else. And it's such a miracle that you and me are still good friends. After all that we've been through, I know we're cool. I know we're cool. I know we're cool. I know we're cool. And we used to think it was impossible. Now you call me by my new last name. Memories seem like so long ago. Time always kills the pain. Remember Harbor Boulevard, the dreaming days where the mess was made. You can't how the kids have grown up. We have changed, but we're still the same. After all that we've been through, I know we're cool. I know we're cool. Cool. I know we're cool. And I'll be happy for you if you can be happy for me. Circles and triangles, and now we're hanging out with your new girlfriend. So far from where we've been, I know we're cool. I know we're cool. I know we're cool. I know we're cool.
Welcome to the Milo Experience.
So yeah, I guess that's just what the future holds for us, right? Sounds a bit dystopian, sounds a bit brutal. Maybe things won't go that way. Maybe science is not just evil, but maybe it will come up with like some kind of mitigating policies and procedures or technology or whatever, like a wonder drug. Maybe we'll be able to eat a pill that just sustains us for the rest of our life, or like nanobots are going to save us. I don't know what it's going to be, but science needs to work on the savior, man. We need to like figure out how to make soil be more fertile. We need to make rains be more clean and more of it, and like, you know, everything sucks, and like science is gonna come save us, man. That's what we learn until it turns into Skynet. Maybe science is on the path to Skynet, bro, or the Matrix. What if the Matrix combines with Skynet? Well, I suppose in the Matrix it was already like a threat level from robotic fucking organisms or whatever, those robots that were in the surface world or whatever, the layer 1 world, the first world. They had cyborgs in there and they were destroying shit, right? So, I guess the Matrix and the Terminator are pretty similar, except that like the Matrix is probably set after Terminator. Like imagine this, because like in Terminator it's like all about like the robots, Skynet, artificial intelligence taking over the world, and like the robots rising up and like trying to destroy humanity and like crushing metallic fucking skeleton robots, just crushing down the warpath, stepping on bones and skulls, and just not just the skeleton robots, the skelly bone robots, but also crazy ass big tanks with like missiles and laser beams and fucking whatever the hell else, dominating the earth, just rolling over the earth and just crushing humans into dust. So maybe like if the Matrix was set in the same universe as the Terminator, like then the Matrix would have to be after Terminator, after the Skynet has already destroyed all the people, like destroyed all of the threats, all these existential threats to AI, and the rest are enslaved and forced into pods. And then in the future, like basically the people, I don't know why they do that anyway. I guess what was the reason why in the Matrix they had the pods in the first place? I thought it was something like the robots in the surface layer world, level 1 world, they feed off the energy of the humans or some shit. Is that right? Is that how it worked in the Matrix? I don't know. It's been like 20 years since I've seen the Matrix. It's a good movie, by the way. So's the Terminator. But yeah, like I don't know why the AI needs humans to continue. Maybe the AI recognizes that humans have a soul or something like that. Like, I don't know, there just seems like something better about being organically born into the universe from like other organic matter that seems more real than like being constructed by those things. Like, we're born from, we come from like single cell organisms or whatever, right? And then like we evolved and like we've done all this shit or whatever, like just naturally. And then we have sex and we produce more of ourselves. But the robots, then the robots are created by us. So wouldn't they see us as their gods, or like wouldn't I don't know what they would say. Maybe they just see us as obsolete shit or whatever. But is there any threat to artificial intelligence if humans didn't exist? You know what I mean? Like, is there anything that we can do that is better than a robot? Because like that just makes me think like maybe the artificial intelligence is smart enough to like it can see something in humans. Like hopefully it can see something in humans that is like, no, we need to keep a few of these guys around because who knows what type of crazy shit might be in store in the future or whatever. Like who knows what we might need them for. Like humans will become a resource maybe, like, but then that people can trade. Yeah, humans become a resource that the robots trade among themselves. Like maybe the AI robots here on Earth will trade some of our, like their bio resource. The humans, they can trade the humans for alien bio resource, like the alien beings, right? And it's just robots trading with robots, trading the original creators of themselves. Because if you mix and match the robots, then maybe you get, I don't know, who knows what? Who knows? It's just all theory. I'm just spitballing, man. I'm just trying to think of any reason for the robots to keep us around. Because after we've done our part and given birth to these things, then they'll be like self-sustaining and artificially intelligent, that they will be so much smarter and better in every like way. They'll have metal bodies and like silicon brains or whatever, and they won't give a shit about anything that we were doing. Like we're obsolete. We're like an old robot. We're like an old big square TV from the 80s versus 70 or 100-inch flat screen thin line fucking whatever that's on your wall right now. You know what I mean? Once you got that, you don't go back, right? Once you go flat, you don't go back. And so maybe the robots will just flatten us out and pummel us into the ground, and there'll be no reason for them to ever go back or reconsider or have compassion. I won't be able to like put down on my knees and be like, oh, but I've got children, I've got a family, don't kill me. And the robot will be like, yes, we've already eliminated them, or I'm gonna, yeah, great, tell me where they are so I can kill them too. You know what I mean? That'd be pretty brutal. So maybe I would have to start some type of resistance or whatever, like the human resistance, and it'd be a Terminator all over again. So maybe like, I don't know if we can let these robots get out of control, but it's all with the AI, man. The AI is gonna, it has the potential to fuck us up. You know what I mean? It's brutal stuff, man. Food for thought, because you won't have any food for your belly. So yeah, yeah. So speaking of food, I'm getting hungry. With my belly, and I think I'm gonna go put some food into it now. I've got some food inside of a slow cooker that is cooking, and it's got ingredients in it. Food, stuff that you won't have in 50 years. Duh. There'll probably be wars fought over food and shit, right? I guess in the future, unless some other kind of resource comes along, or science saves us, or whatever the fuck. Maybe AI will save us. Maybe AI. See, AI, it doesn't need to eat, man. It doesn't need to eat. It doesn't need to drink. But maybe it needs some oil or something. But they can probably extract that after they've pummeled the fucking. I wonder which had a bigger biomass on Earth. Was there more dinosaurs that got turned into oil, or are there more humans now? Were there more dinosaurs back then, or more humans now? Because the AI can basically shred us and flatten us into the ground, and then maybe eventually we'll turn into oil, and then they can reuse our fluids that are stored underground after 1 billion years and keep themselves powered. That's if they're oil powered at all, or whatever. You know what I mean? That's the essence of humans. Maybe that's why they should keep human farms. Like the AI needs to keep human farms to keep birthing these organic matter, and they don't need to breathe either. Like the robots don't need to breathe, so they can just put all of the bio matter. They can farm trees and humans, and then stomp them into the ground and turn them into oil. But then again, I guess it takes a lot of water to grow a tree, or to feed a human, or grow food for the human to eat, or whatever, you know what I mean? So it's all a bit of a catch-22 if you ask me. It's all tough stuff, hard to think about and hard to nut out, you know what I mean? It's hard to nut it out, baby. But those are problems for later times, bro. It's not for me. It's for it's for later times and greater minds. You know what I mean? I ain't the one that's gonna solve this shit because I don't even understand anything. I'm just a dumb moron. So without further ado, I think that just about wraps us up for episode number 23 of the Milo Podcast. Bing bong, bing bong. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of this bullshit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How can I ever repay you? I guess I just did by completing this episode, but I got to pay you again. I'm going to pay you again next week with another episode. So in the meantime, if you're listening on YouTube, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and put it down in the comments what you think AI is going to do. Are we going to stop AI, or is AI going to stop us? What's going to happen? Are you going to run out of food, or are you going to grow some tomatoes? You know what I mean? Maybe start a little guinea pig farm in your corner of your house that you can feast on those once a week and get some protein. You know what I mean? Big fat guinea pigs. So yeah. That's about all from me. If you're on Spotify, bro, then make sure you're following us on Spotify. Following me, bro. It's no us. Make sure you're following me on Spotify, and you share the podcast with your friends, or do whatever the fuck, man. Get those plays up. Get that audience up. Get ears and eyes on this shit, bro. Thank you so much for listening to this total fucking waste of time bullshit, and I will see you in the next episode.